GM guys, today we are diving into the most famous narrative in cryptocurrency, that is Web3 gaming. Last year, when there was a bull cycle in 2021, I still remember gaming was the hottest narrative in whole crypto industry. And this is not a normal project. Last bull cycle, this project alone gave 40x return from all-time low to all-time high. That is huge. The project name is Chain Games. So we are sitting down with Adam, the founder of this project. You can play game, earn crypto, and compete with other players. You can even make so much money playing their games basically. Gaming's graphics and more updates are coming on. In this bull cycle, I believe this project will be one of the prominent leading gaming crypto narrative. Adam, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for coming. By the way, it's been a while, since I've been following up on you guys, and thank you. Thank you for coming, by the way.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Adam, I've already introduced my audience about you and about Chain Games as well.
hmm
It will be way better if you can introduce what is Chain Games, and for somebody brand new, what exactly is Chain Games, and why should gamers care about it?
Okay. Sure. So, Chain Games is a Web3 gaming platform that focuses on decentralized games of skill. So, there's a clear definition of a game of skill versus, say, a game of chance. Games of skill are games that are directly influenced. The outcomes are based upon your actual skill level, as opposed to like a game
Okay.
of chance, which would be something like roulette or craps or slots or something that you go to the casino and play that is purely chance based and based upon luck. So the reason why I bring this up is that there's a clear legal definition and distinction between these two types of games. Being a game of skill is legal in
Mhm.
about 90% of jurisdictions worldwide without a gaming license. If you're a game of chance, you actually need a gaming license to operate essentially like a casino. So we specifically focus on games of skill.
Okay, cool. And since you saw like one bull run already, right? And when the token was discovered, like when you guys found it, like you founding team,
hmm Yeah,
like
so
when it happened.
Yeah, so we actually launched in August of 2020. So we've been around for quite a while. We launched during DeFi summer when Uniswap and all those apps came out, and we were actually running on
Yes.
layer one Ethereum at the time because gas was super cheap. And
Uh-huh.
when we launched with a game called Super Crypto Kart, which was
Okay.
it's actually still out. It's a PC based game. It's kind of like Mario
Uh-huh.
Kart, and users are
Okay.
able to race against each other with crypto-based characters. So we have like Satoshi, Vitalik, Justin
Uh,
Sun, Charles Hoskinson, and they all have their own little
right.
customized cart with their token and labeled and stuff. And it was essentially like a Mario Kart type of game. And basically, the way that Chain Games operates with all of its games is that
Mhm.
users go to play a game and there's an entry fee for the game. The entry fee is taken in chain tokens, and the entry fee is then locked in an escrow smart contract until the game is over. So essentially, everyone goes in with, say, $1, right? And you have 10 people that join. So $10 gets locked in the smart contract. At the end of the game,
Right.
the stats from the game are then ingested back into the smart contract, and the smart contract
Okay.
determines and dictates who gets paid. So, and for something like Super Crypto Cart, it would be like the top three people who ranked first, second, and third would get paid, and it would be something like
Yes.
70%, 20%, 10% would be the payout. So that's what we initially
Right.
launched with was Super Crypto Cart in 2020. We launched with,
Hmm.
like I said, on Ethereum. But then what happened
Hmm.
was DeFi summer hit and Uniswap and all these DeFi apps came out, and it got really cost prohibitive due to gas. So we've always been running on what's called EIP 712, which allows us to
Hmm.
pay gas on behalf of users so that a user doesn't have to
Hmm.
worry about having gas in their wallet. And it was when we first launched, it was like a penny or two to play on Ethereum.
Right.
And then when,
Yeah.
gas went nuts and it started costing like, it would be like
Yes.
$1 or multiple dollars. So we pivoted pretty
Yeah.
quickly. And we were actually one of the first gaming projects to move over to Polygon. It took us about
Cool.
3, 4 weeks or so, and we ported everything over, and we actually ended up running on Polygon. And from there, we
Hmm.
started to develop additional games. So we started looking into social casual types of games, such as We have a game called 21 Wild, which is like a combination of solitaire and
Yeah,
blackjack.
cards. Yeah, yep.
Yep. We have a game called Dropsy, which is like multiplayer Tetris. We have a
Uh-huh.
game called Solitaire Plus, which is another solitaire game. So we started focusing
You
on a
have a
lot of
game.
these. Yeah, yeah. We started
Yeah,
focusing.
my favorite, I've played these
Yeah.
games, and my favorite, one of my favorite game is like Super Crypto Kart, like the racing cards.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of my thing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you're gonna love what we're coming out with next. So we were focusing on social casual games, and then around December of 2020, we started looking into connecting. And this was always one of the ideas from Chain Games is that we wanted it to have the ability for anyone to play the major titles, like on console or on PC, on the Chain Games platform, and Chain Games, ingest the stats and then
Yeah.
determine who won the games. So around that time, we added support for Call of Duty for Madden NFL, NBA 2K, all the EA games, all the 2K
Yeah.
games, and Fortnite. And essentially, what we did was we allowed you to connect in your Xbox account or your PlayStation Network
Mhm.
account or even like your Steam account or Battle.net account, and we were tracking
Right.
stats in these games. So essentially, people were able to bet against each other on a game of Fortnite or a game of Call of Duty, and it was insanely
Uh-huh.
popular for about 2.5 months. And then
Yeah.
around mid-February, maybe even mid-March, Fortnite actually
Mhm.
contacted us because they weren't very happy with what we were doing,
Yes.
and they sent us a cease and desist, and we actually had to shut that entire operation down, and we could no longer have licensed titles on there because they said that we needed to basically pay them a fee in order to have the games on the platform, and the fee was like astronomical, like $100 million or something they wanted for these games.
Okay.
So it's at that time that we said, hey, you know what we have to do? We need to pivot, and we need to create our own games and our own high quality, high caliber titles. And it's at that time that we started to engage and talk to many different development studios and gaming studios because we wanted to create our own, AAA level games. And we actually ended up linking up with a company called Stratton Studios, who is a co-development studio. So what a
Okay.
co-development studio is that those are studios that are normally they're involved in creating like major games, but you just don't hear about them because they're like behind
Mhm.
the scenes and they're just contracted out. So a lot of these major publishers like Call of Duty, Fortnite, all those guys, they will contact like Unreal, like for the Unreal Engine, or they'll contact Unity,
Uh,
and they'll say, "Hey, we need a studio that can do X, Y, and Z for us." And then these guys, and then Unity or Unreal Engine will say, "Okay, we're going to refer you over to these guys." So Stratton Studios is actually the preferred co-development studio of Unity. You're familiar with like Unity and Unreal, the engines that are used
yes.
in the 3D
Yes.
engine?
Yes.
Okay. So they're the preferred studio that Unity uses. So we linked up with them, and it took a little while, but we convinced them essentially that we wanted
Uh,
to create a
yeah.
first-person shooter, and that's kind of where like that relationship started. So
Mhm.
for the last almost 3 years now, we've been building a first-person shooter called Chain Reaction. And Chain
Mhm.
Reaction is the first native crypto first-person shooter. So previously, like I said, we had like games like Fortnite and Call of Duty that were linked into our
Yeah.
platform, but it wasn't native. It was like, it pulled the stats in. It was like
Yeah. I understand.
it wasn't like a complete experience. And I've always had this
Got it.
idea that if there was a first person shooter game where you can go around and when you shoot someone and they die, tokens go flying out of their body, like they're carrying their
Right.
tokens on there. It's like a bounty mode,
Right.
like a real life bounty mode
Mhm.
where you can earn real money in these types of games. And that's where Chain
Mhm.
Reaction started. And they loved the idea. So we started creating Chain Reaction, which is a multiplayer FPS where
Mhm.
users go into matches literally holding chain
Mhm.
tokens on their bodies. And
Right.
you're running around with say 100 tokens, 200 tokens, however many tokens you have. And if you
Uh,
kill someone in the match,
mhm.
they immediately drop 25% of their tokens. Half of
Mhm.
those tokens go to your wallet right away, and the other half just fall to the
Right.
ground for anyone essentially to pick up on the ground. And it's just like
Uh-huh.
a free for all where everyone's going wild. And at the end of the match, however many tokens you leave with, that's what you get to keep.
Cool. Super cool. Man, you have seen a lot. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's been
haven't done this deep research on you guys. Like, man, you're literally, you entered in a phase where gaming narrative was booming. like
Hmm.
back in 2021, like
Yeah.
Sandbox, Decentraland, right?
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that were booming. And at that time, you just jumped in. And if I can check right now in Coin Market Cap, like Chain Games, uh,
Yeah,
so
we
we
exploded
are,
around that time.
yeah, you were at that time. And our market cap, how much is our market cap right now?
We're about like 10 million fully diluted value, 10.5 million, something like that. But
Right.
we
And
were like
what's the
10x that at one point. Oh, it's Chain is the ticker.
Yeah, chain is the ticker, right? Yeah, I saw like you are, you did 10x, at the time of, 2020 and then 2021. Man, damn, it was literally through the roof. Uh,
Yep, yep.
so,
That was during the Fortnite haze and when everything was going crazy from Fortnite and Call of Duty. And unfortunately, we had to phase that out. But moving forward with these games that we're working on now with Chain Reaction,
uh-huh,
we're also actually the only one of the issues with Web three games, crypto games in general, and
yeah,
I feel like this is the case really until like Off the Grid, which came out recently. The games suck.
uh-huh.
The majority of crypto games are horrible trash games.
Yes, I know. I've been through that.
And the reason is that they don't have the developers or the experience or the professional development studios actually making these games. Like you have like
Mhm.
Axie Infinity, which was like okay, it's so. There was trading
Yeah,
card
it's
games
it's yeah.
that are basic. Like I was playing trading card games in like the '90s. Like I don't know why we still have them in
Now you
2025.
have now you have enemy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think the real first game that's utilized crypto and done a good job with
Mhm.
it. I mean, and it's when I say utilize crypto, it's utilizing it very, very minimally, which is off the grid. They have NFT skins now and stuff like that. We're
Mhm.
bringing a fully, essentially on-chain game where everything's tied to crypto, everything's tied to the token, the NFTs, the skins. It's all on chain. And
Mhm.
if you can create a high quality, high caliber title that
Right.
utilizes blockchain effectively and even
Mhm.
abstracts it so that the users don't really know they're on blockchain. I think that's key, and
Right.
that's what we're going for. And that's what we've done with Chain Reaction is we've enabled smart wallets through Third Web.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it allows someone to sign on and play with a Google account. It automatically creates a wallet in
Mhm.
the back end. They don't really
Yep.
even know that they have a wallet if they don't want to interface or interact with it. They don't have to worry about private
Okay.
keys. They don't have to worry about seed words. Everything can be
Mhm.
restored via their social logins through Google. And it really we basically abstracted the blockchain functionality away, but kept the good parts of the blockchain, like the economies of scale and tokens and in-game wagering and NFTs and stuff like that. So we're really excited
Right.
for Chain Reaction and what it's going to bring, and we're super close to having this come out as an open beta for everyone to try. So we've been teasing videos, we've been putting it on our X, on our Telegram. You can kind of see the multiplayer, what it looks like,
I
how it's
saw it, yeah.
going. I
Yep.
encourage,
The recent, yeah, the pin post, guys, just check it out. The pin post, it's amazing. The game, like it's better than I can say Call of Duty,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
it's
super high
definitely
tech.
it's very AAA quality, really good graphics. And the most
Yeah.
amazing thing about all this is that we're utilizing a technology called web GPU for this. So this entire game is
Okay.
actually playable in your web browser. You don't need to download
Mhm.
anything. You don't need to install anything. You can literally just go to the URL and start playing. Web GPU is a new functionality that really
Uh-huh.
hasn't been around that long. Unity released their web GPU support in
Mhm.
November of 2024. But like I said, we're very close with Unity and very close with Stratton Studios, and they've actually had versions of web GPU that they've been working on like betas prior to that, a couple of years prior. So we got a couple of year head
Right.
start with using this web GPU technology. But essentially, it enables console quality games and graphics
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
functionality all playable through like your Chrome browser tab. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, damn, it's great. Are you aware of Nakamoto games?
Yeah, I'm aware of Nakamoto games.
Yeah. What are your points about them?
I kind of get the same, like it's what I
Just
found
make
out.
it controversial. Just make it controversial. Just be open up. What are your points now?
I'll say that the majority of crypto games suck, except for off the grid, is my opinion.
Yeah, that I feel that too. I feel Nakamoto games. I've played Nakamoto games as well. I've played the top, there are top 500 crypto projects, and I've played
Hmm.
all of their games. Literally, their game sucks. It's just like it's just for showing piece. Like it's
Yeah, it's very,
I
very
don't.
basic. It's not, they're not
Yeah.
made by game developers. That's the problem, is that they're made by software developers and blockchain developers that don't have gaming experience and don't have the knowledge from the Web 2 space. And and that's why Off the Grid is different, because Off the Grid was actually a studio and game developers that know how
Uh-huh.
to make a video game. That's why Chain Reaction is going to be different, because it's made by by people with experience in gaming, who know how to make
Uh-huh.
games, who know how to, utilize the engines properly, who have the
Right.
teams to create the art assets, the sound assets, all that stuff. So that's a big difference, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and that's the differentiating factor between Off the Grid and us and someone like Nakamoto Games, or some of these other games that are just they're just very poor implemented, but JavaScript implemented games. So I mean, that's how I feel about it. I'm sorry if I've
You
offended
know.
anyone or if I've offended Nakamoto Games, but
You can do. You live in United States of America, you can say whatever you want, freedom of speech. So basically, I also feel that, yeah, man, fuck you too, guys. So, that's how I feel. Their graphic sucks, and I don't know why, people jump in and talk trash about it. And, I've saw like always they are bragging, hey, we are going to launch something big, gaming has never seen before, something. And I see, I watch their stuff in the Twitter, and I'll be like, damn, why these guys are, jumping? Why these raiders are jumping for nothing?
yeah.
Their graphic sucks anyway.
And I'll admit it, like when we started out, even our social casual games, like the card games that we have and stuff like that, those were not made by
Hmm.
gaming studios. Those were made by software developers and blockchain developers. And I mean, the games are fun, but they're not the quality of games that you need to. If you want to
Yes.
bring over a billion gamers that are playing Web 2 games, that are
Hmm.
playing Fortnite and Call of Duty and Madden and NBA and all these games, they're not going to go to games
Right.
like that. You need to have like a high quality, high caliber game. And like I said, the only game that I see that really exists like that right now is Off the Grid. Chain Reaction is going to be the next one, which leads me to a good segue here. Is that we have a very good relationship, and are the only Web3 gaming company that actually has a license with a professional sports organization to create a game. So we actually have a
Damn.
license with the PGA Tour to create a PGA
Hmm.
Tour mobile game, which is actually another game that we're working on in the background. So that's
Hmm.
another game that Stratton Studios is working on with us. It's fully licensed by the PGA Tour. It can have all the PGA Tour players and official
Hmm.
courses. And it's going to be a pretty kick-ass Web3 mobile golf game that we're going to release as well. But that's not coming out until it's looking like late 2026.
Right, right, right. Man, I literally like the energy you present your project. And, I literally like I literally like the founders or the founding team who have confidence in them, and they tell them, hey, you suck. You suck. That's how you get people, that's how things get done, Hey, you
Mm-hmm.
suck. This sucks. We need to get better than this. We need to get better than that. That's always, always appreciated. And one thing I like about your games, and I mean, your project is like when I see it on Twitter, when I see it on like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or the markets and up and down, all I feel is this is underrated. This should be billion-dollar market cap, not millions, billion. I believe
Yeah.
that because yeah, kind of, money nowadays flows where attention goes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, memes that are I consider memes as a brand, nothing more than that, just a brand, just a logo and few
Mm-hmm.
characters popping up and community supporting them. You have community as well, and you also have the game utility. I mean, that is rare in this crypto space. Like 90% of token are, who say they are utility token, they are
It's
nothing. They
bullshit.
just
They're not.
shit. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
You have.
that's actually a good segue into our blockchain. So we actually have a custom blockchain that we launched recently. So like I said,
Uh-huh.
we started out on Ethereum. We transitioned and pivoted to Polygon, but we encountered some
Mm,
issues with Polygon over the years. With, for instance, high network congestion results in longer block confirmation times, or they do a hard fork or
right.
an upgrade or something like that. It causes some
Uh,
issues. So what we actually did the about when was this in like May we launched the Chain Game SuperNet app chain. which is essentially
Okay.
a fork of Polygon Edge. So it's a
Mm,
custom Polygon blockchain that we've made and catered specifically for gaming. It runs
mm,
delegated proof of stake. So we have validator nodes, and
mm,
anyone in the community can spin up a validator node on like a Linux
right.
VPS and basically what they need to do is they stake 200,000 chain tokens, and then
Mm,
they can actually earn for securing the network and for helping confirm blocks and processing blocks. They can earn a percentage of transactional fees that come in on the network. So you have the
mm,
opportunity to be a validator node. You have the opportunity, if you're not technical enough, you can actually delegate your tokens to a validator node and even earn
okay.
a commission and a cut that way. So the way our system works is that every single game that's played on the Chain Games network, right off the top, we take 10% out of it. So say 10 people
Okay.
join Chain Reaction for a
Uh,
dollar a piece. So that's $10 that initially goes in the pool. Right away, a dollar is siphoned out of that, and 50% of that goes to the staking pool. So 50 cents of that dollar is then
okay.
sent
Yeah. Yeah.
to the staking pool as chain tokens, and then
Uh,
depending upon what the validator nodes have as their commission rate, a lot of them have
mhm.
somewhere in between like 3% to 10%, they said, as commission rate. They
Yes.
earn a little cut off what the delegators are taking from them. But essentially, all those tokens are then split around and spread around between the network for the validator nodes and the
Mm,
delegators to share. So as the Chain Games network grows and gets bigger and as more games are played, these transactional fees
uh,
go up and the people who are staking are going to be
uh,
rewarded for doing so.
rewarded. Yeah, the API. APY. Yeah. Got it.
Correct. So it's not like there's no way to determine the specific APY this is going to be because it's variable. So it's strictly dependent upon the amount of transactional volume on the network. So the more games that are played, the
Mm,
more games that we add, the more chain tokens that are
mm,
burned. Every single transaction results in chain tokens being burned. Will
right.
result in fees and tokens being delegated or I'm sorry, tokens being sent over to the delegators and the validators. The other
Mm,
50%, so like I said, there's 50% that goes to the staking pool. The other 50%, 40% of that goes to the dev wallet. 5% of
mm.
those tokens are burned, and 5% goes to a DAO. So we have a DAO wallet
Okay.
that we're starting.
5% tokens are burnt. Okay.
Correct. 5% burned,
Right.
5% to the DAO, 40% goes to the dev wallet, and then the other
Mm,
50%, like I said, goes to the staking community. So the DAO wallet
okay.
that we're creating essentially has been accumulating tokens now for 5 years. And we're going to
Mm,
start having votes on this DAO wallet based upon
mm,
proof of stake. So the more tokens that you have, the bigger say
mm,
that you have on what to do with this DAO wallet. But essentially, this DAO
mm,
wallet can be used to obtain licenses for new games, development and creation of new games, marketing proposals,
mm.
stuff like that. So we really want to
Right.
decentralize this project and get the community involved as much as possible to decide, how we should spend these DAO tokens that are coming in.
Yeah, that is huge. One thing I wanted to ask, like, our market cap is $8.7 million, right? Right now, we
Mhm.
are sitting around, 2 cents, like 0.02299 cents. So,
Yep.
our all-time high. If I see our all-time high, it was huge. It was around a dollar, almost a dollar. Yeah.
It was a
What
do-
what
it was
was
a
the
dollar
all-time
twenty
high?
four. It was a dollar 24 for one day.
Dollar. Damn, if from here, if any normal, hey guys, not a financial advice, do your own due diligence and research. But if anyone invests in this token, like $1,000, let's say not more, if this goes and cross the all-time high once again, they
Yeah, it's like
literally
it's
make
like a 60x.
60x. Damn, this is a sleeping gem, like the I've always saw like gaming projects working and developing that big. And after GTA 6, like GTA 6 launched and all that happened, few of the people saying like NFT will come back, the NFT will, have a major comeback, like, back in 2021 when it
Hmm.
happened. So, do you have, like, what do you think? NFT will ever come back again, or it's just, meme tokens have taken place of NFTs?
I think it depends on the utility of NFTs. I think the days of just random JPEGs going for thousands and
Mhm.
thousands of dollars is over. I
Yeah.
think utility based NFTs, like for instance, NFTs in Chain Reaction in our game are skins for guns and skins for the
Mm-hmm.
players and different cosmetic
Players,
upgrades
yeah.
and stuff like that. Kind of
Yep.
like I don't know if you ever play like CS:GO or anything like that. I think stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that are NFTs that allow you to buy, sell, trade on open markets. I think that's going to have a market for. There's going to be a market for those types of items. And other types of utilities for NFTs, whether it's like
Mm-hmm.
fractional shares in I don't know an actual RWA, like a physical art piece or something like that. I think those type of utilities and that type of functionality is going to come back. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the days of just like OpenSea going nuts from just these random JPEGs of some AI generated art, especially with AI now, it's very easy to generate all that stuff. I don't think
Yeah.
those days are over. And I actually think I think the meme days are still going to stay, but I don't think it's going to be like the pumped up fun days of old.
Mm-hmm.
People are starting to realize that all the 99.9% of these memes are just pump and dump scams. Rug pulls, a
Yeah.
lot of them are even that. I think
Ruffles.
people
Yep.
are looking for actual utility, and a token in an economy that has purpose and functionality, that has a clear economy of scale, method that they're going to implement. And that's another one of the issues that I have with like a lot of these games, like play to earn games, for instance.
Yeah.
Games where you play a game and then they just give away a token for free results in 100% sell pressure and no buy pressure. Why are you going to buy a token
Yep.
that they're giving away for free in a game? And that's why we've never
You
offered play to
remember?
earn. Yeah.
You remember hamster token?
Yeah. X Hamster. Yeah.
Literally, they did so big by marketing and all that stuff. They made it so big. People made it so big that, hey, we are going to make this much money. Everybody was tapping in their phone, like, hey, let me earn
hmm
money. And then, when Hamster Token launched, and after a while they dumped, like, across, if I can see and pull up Hamster Token right here, the all-time high, the all-time low, Hamster Compact, yeah. So it is low as, damn, you won't believe me. It is low right now, 91%, 91% down. I think
Yeah,
so.
it
The
makes
team is
sense.
holding it. That's all.
It's because that business methodology doesn't work.
Hmm.
You can't give away something for free that has a
Free, yeah,
marketplace where you can sell it and expect people to hold
yeah,
on to it and not sell it. And why is anyone to buy it if you're just giving it away for free? It's a flawed business
yeah.
model, and play to earn doesn't work for that reason. And that's why Chain Games
Right.
has never been a play to earn type of platform. We think skill based gaming, where you actually have to pay to play and put it in,
Hmm.
and it's essentially you're wagering and betting on your skill in a game. And as a
Uh-huh.
result, you have to buy tokens to play, and you have to buy
Hmm.
tokens to enter these matches and these tournaments. And that's a much
Hmm.
better business model. And the bigger a game gets, results in more buy pressure because more people are playing, more people are going to buy the token. They want to
Sure.
play the game.
Yeah.
That's a solid business model in order to grow a token and to
Yes.
grow an ecosystem. And we're actually now linked up now with Chain Reaction. This is another thing that's coming out with Chain Reaction. You can actually buy the tokens in game using a credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay. So we're really making this so that it's super easy to onboard. Like
Okay.
traditional Web 2 users who, that's how they bought Fortnite bucks, or
Hmm.
Robux and Roblox or something like that. They're familiar with just clicking a button,
Yeah.
they get tokens or coins in their account, they can spend them on whatever. They can spend them on. We have loot boxes launching with skins and different
Hmm.
cosmetic upgrades. They can just go ahead and spend it
Hmm.
right away. And the way our system works is that whenever these transactions come in through the
Hmm.
merchant account, we actually do a
Hmm.
simultaneous buy on the DEX on the back end. So we've implemented a custom system that translates fiat purchases directly into token purchases in real time.
Right. Got it. Hey, I wanted to ask you one thing. Like, if we are at a pedestal that people wants to go there, and I mean, like, your token, and I mean, your project is at the pedestal where people literally that few of the people have dream over reaching there. So what I'm saying is, like, if there is a one advice you could give out in this podcast to the people who are creating a crypto token or a gaming token or any GameFi network, so what will be the one advice that you will tell them to make their token and their project successful?
You really need to study how economies work and how tokenomics work. There's a lot of projects that like they just come up with a token. They have
Mm,
some arbitrary number that they create for the amount of tokens that they're going to have. They,
mm,
back when we started chain games, it was rare for a team to take more than maximum of 20% of the tokens, and even that was a lot. Normally, teams were taking like 10%. Some were taking less, maybe 15%. Now it seems like, some of these teams are taking 70, 80, 90% of the supply, and just hoarding it for themselves. And that doesn't work. That's not going to make your community happy. They're going to think that,
right.
you're a rug pull. You're going to dump it on them. You need to think about the tokenomics of the project. You need to think about utility of the token. You need to figure out both the buy side and the sell side. Like I said, like something like play to earn. You can't just give away your token for free, even if you require people to play a game to do so. It's just
Mm,
it's a race to zero. It's a race to the bottom. So I think the main thing that you need to think about is that what can you do from a technological perspective to drive utility and to drive economics behind the token and drive buy side.
right. And like why we chose Polygon and we are on Polygon, right? And we are on Ethereum as well, contract address. And I see we are on other chain as well. Like which one?
We're on Solana
Like
as
how?
well. So they're all peg
Mhm.
tokens essentially. So everything since we started on Ethereum, the main supply was always on Ethereum, and then everything has been bridged or pegged over to other chains. So no matter what token you buy, whether it's on Solana, whether it's on Polygon, whether it's on SuperNet on our own blockchain, it should all be the same price because it's all pegged to the Ethereum version. So you can actually redeem it for the Ethereum version if you were to move it over to Ethereum.
Ah, I see, I see, I see. And one more thing, like, which is your favorite chain among them? Which you think it will be suitable for buyers, the new buyers which want to buy, or like, I
So
mean, who want to buy?
Sure, sure. So right now, Ethereum definitely has the most liquidity. However, we're going to be adding a lot of liquidity to Polygon. So once Chain Reaction launches and the public starts coming, especially Web2 gamers, we're going to be doing a lot of marketing towards Web2 gamers.
Hmm.
Those guys are going to be coming in through credit cards, through fiat purchases, so on and so forth. And that's all going to result. Those are all going to be purchases that come in on Polygon on the quick swap desks.
Hmm.
And that's just due to
Right.
gas fees. It's just cheap and fast to execute on those
Hmm.
desks. When those buys come in, we actually send them the tokens directly to their wallet on SuperNet, so they don't have to bridge anything. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
inexperienced buyers who don't know how crypto works or anything like that, they just buy it with their credit card, and it's
Hmm.
instantly in their wallet, and they can play with it. And it's not really our goal is for them not even to know that it was a blockchain transaction that occurred. It's just going to show up as a
I
balance in
see.
their account. Boom, they can buy skins, they
Hmm.
can buy NFTs, they can start playing the game. For the crypto
Hmm.
native, audience, the Web3 users, I would say, depending upon how much you plan on buying, Ethereum
Hmm.
has the most liquidity. But like I said, some of that's going to be moving over to Polygon. I would say those are probably the two best networks to buy it on right now. Solana has some liquidity too, but if you're on Ethereum or Polygon, those are both EVM networks that's pretty easy to bridge back and forth.
Right, right, right. And one more thing, like, which of the crypto project do you see they are your competitors right now? And
I would say that off the grid, I see as a competitor. I would say that's probably our biggest competitors off the grid. But
off the grid.
no one's really doing what we're doing with our. So we've coined the phrase "kill to earn." So you have play to earn. You have some of these other narratives. We have a new narrative that we're calling "kill to earn," where you have to kill players. You need to get in these games and kill these
Mm,
players and steal their tokens in order to earn
mm,
your keep and and build your stat. And
mm,
no one's doing anything like that. We are the only Web3 project that has this type of format set up. So, off the
mm,
grid and these other games that are out, there's that other game that came out. I think it's called Wilder. It's kind of like it's like a multi mode game. They have like an open world. They have like a driving game. They have
mm,
a first person shooter. Um,
mm,
but again, these are all, they may have blockchain functionality, like maybe they have NFTs or there's a token somehow involved with it, but none of them are doing skill
mm.
based gaming, which is what we're focused on, which is essentially,
Right, right,
wagering on how good you are at a video game. No longer do you need
right.
to be like on an esports team or Ninja or
Uh,
someone like that to make money playing video games. Now anyone can make money playing
okay.
video games. You just need to sign on and play on the Chain Games platform.
I got it. I got it. So if anyone wants to buy your token, we are going in the buy side, right? If anyone wants to buy your token, like how much, what do you expect in this bull run? The bull run is not over yet as we speak. So in this bull run, what do you think? Like, where is the top? $1
So
again?
I can't specify that or talk about that about my own token price. That's just not something I'm allowed to talk about or say. I will say
Let's just
that
agree with, all right.
I would love, I would love for it to go back to previous all-time highs. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All I know
Yep.
is that, with chain reaction coming out, with our ability to market now towards Web 2 gamers with, a AAA caliber title that you can play in your web
Mm,
browser, I think it's going to be
right.
very popular. And, you need the tokens in order to play the game to be able to wager on your skill level. So, that's going to cause buy pressure, and that should naturally result in increased demand.
Yeah, as we speak, money flows where attention goes. So we're gonna grab the attention.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. We think this is a very streamable,
Hmm.
platform that we've created. We've been talking to some popular Twitch streamers who are first-person shooter players that play some of the other popular games like Fortnite, and they kind of got wind of what we're doing. They've seen our videos on X and stuff, and they love it. And they said, like, there's already people already play cash games on
Hmm.
Fortnite, where they
Right.
kind of have like an agreement where like someone sends the other person like Venmo or PayPal or something like that, but there's
Hmm.
there's no authoritative system like what we built that's decentralized where payments occur automatically. You don't have to worry about someone stiffing you and not paying out, if they lose or something like that. And to be able
Yeah.
to go onto a platform, and bet money on a first person shooter, and
Hmm.
so anywhere from $1 to $25, or even we're going to be able to have whale games and custom games. I foresee people
Right.
coming on this platform and that have a lot of money and are whales or professional
Hmm.
gamers, professional esports players that may be playing $1,000 games. And with the streaming the streamability of something like that is going to be amazing. I could see tons of people tuning in to watch to see if someone's going to win, $10,000, $25,000 on a match. That'd be crazy to watch.
Right. Oh, cool. Uh, One last question before you go. I took much of your time, I know that. If you're explaining your project to a 14 or 15-year teenager, and they are not in the crypto, they are not in Web3, they are partially in gamings, right? What is the one advice that you will give them, or what is the one pitch you will give them that they will start playing your game and they can buy your token?
I would tell them that they need to wait 4 years to play our game because it's only 18 years and older.
Oh my God. Okay. And after 18 years, like if 18-year adult is watching this.
Yeah, I would say that if you're into first-person shooters, if you wanna wager a little bit on your skills and try it
Hmm.
out, Chain Reaction's coming out here very soon. We're gonna have the open beta. It's gonna be free at first, actually, just so we can knock out all the bugs on it, and then we're gonna connect it on chain and really enable the wagering component of it. But if you want to try it out, just follow us on X at Real Chain Games. Join us on Telegram.
Link is in the description.
Join us on Telegram. Check out the videos, check out what we're pushing out. But it's going to be exciting, and we think it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's tons of opportunities. There's going to be leaderboards. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be progressives. It's another thing I haven't really talked about, where a certain percentage of every game is going to go into a mega jackpot, and then we're just going to
Right.
have these random jackpots throughout the seasons that are being released to the different players. So we have a lot of stuff planned.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be exciting. It's something that's really never been done before. We're excited to where it's going, and we're pretty confident that this is going to be successful because it's a brand new thing that's never been tried before.
Agree, agree, agree. So, another question. This one is last. So, why should any person, like as I told you, I've asked you two segments in last question, like why should they buy your token instead of any meme coins?
I mean, if you're going to buy a token that has utility that you can actually use in a game and potentially even turn it into more tokens. You buy our
Right.
token, join a match. If you're good at first person shooters, if you're good at some of these other games, if you're smart
Hmm.
with cards, and turn your $10 that you bought into $20, or parlay it and try to make more money by playing these games. So meme coins are those are casinos. That's all
Yeah.
just it's actually probably worse than a casino, honestly. At least if you buy
Hmm.
something that has utility and something that has like true technology and backing behind it, you
Hmm.
have a chance for success. And we believe that what we built with chain games will enable success in gamers, in our validator nodes, of people that believe in the network. And as the network grows, as the games grow, as the community grows, everyone's gonna is gonna be successful as a result.
True, true, true. Undoubtedly. So thank you, Adam, for joining me for this podcast. It's been really hard to get you on the call, on the call, and it's been a time, and Bull Run is coming. And guys, the contract address is in the description. If you want to buy their token, just go ahead and buy it. And just follow them on X. Just give them a follow and watch each and every update, whatever they give. So yeah. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. It was a good talk.
Thank you.